We made it to a very smoky Grand Teton National Park. But our luck was about to change, because on the last day we were here, we got storms. With the skies clearing, we took the opportunity to go out and explore and take as many photos as we could. This was our last full day in the park, and we decided to get up before the sun and went down to Schwabacher's Landing and watched the sun rise over the horizon. The sun rose to our backs and painted the mountains in front of us with an early morning pink glow. As the sun continued to rise into the morning sky, we decided to move on and went south to an area of the park known as Mormon Row. In the 1890s, homesteaders from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints traveled to this area of the valley. They established 27 home sites. The settlers dug ditches by hand and with teams of horses to help cultivate the land. Water still flows through some of these irrigation ditches today. In 1997, this area was added to the National Register of Historic Places as a historic district. Some of these buildings out here have become internet famous over the past few years. The grassy grazing land in the foreground and the towering mountains in the background make for a pretty epic photo. The sky started to get a little hazy as the morning wore on. We left Mormon Row and went over to Oxbow Bend, another pretty popular spot to see the Snake River with the Tetons in the background. Not far from Oxbow Bend is a place called Cattleman Bridge. But by this point, we had been up since 4 a.m. and decided that we should come back when the light was a little bit better.
Did you know that we're in Wyoming?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Somebody did.
The next morning, we got up really early. It was our departure day, but we wanted to go out and see if conditions were still decent. Early morning in Grand Tetons is the time to go out. The only problem is, everybody wants to go out. And every time I found a vantage point to photograph from, someone would come and steal it the second I stepped to the side. We decided to leave behind the craziness of Oxbow Bend and head back over to Cattleman Bridge. This area gets its name from a bridge that used to span the river back in the early days of the national park. Ranchers still had grazing rights within the national park boundaries, and this bridge would allow them to bring their cattle to market. For us, Cattleman's Bridge meant peace and quiet. There was nobody else out here. It also meant that we got a front row seat to some eagles up in the trees across the river. Before we went back to pack up, we went out to one more place, the famous Snake River Overlook. This is the spot that Ansel Adams made famous. And with that last photo op, it was time for us to head on to our next destination.